The day I got fired was the day I became most valuable to the company. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But it was true. Because while my manager Derek was letting me go to build a younger team, HR was preparing a 6-month investigation file. And me? I just waited. Because sometimes the best move is no move at all. My name is Marcus Webb. I'm 42 years old. For 19 years, I worked as production manager at Riverside Manufacturing in Toledo, Ohio. Our factory produced automotive parts. Small but steady work. Good work. Until Derek Chamberlain arrived. That Monday morning, I walked into the factory at 6:30 a.m., same as always. Security guard Sam gave his usual greeting. The guys on the production line were drinking their coffee. It was a normal day. Or so I thought. At 9:15, my phone rang. Derek's assistant, Michelle. Mr. Webb, Derek wants to see you. Right now. There was something in her tone. Cold. Official. When I got to Derek's office, HR manager Karen was already there. A file sat on the desk. Thick, official looking. Sit down, Marcus, Derek said. He was 31 years old. MBA from Stanford. He'd been appointed as the company's new general manager 8 months ago. He wore expensive suit. Always had his tablet in hand. And he never made eye contact with me. The reason I called you here, he said without opening the file, is that the company is restructuring. We're building a young, dynamic, technology-focused team. And your profile no longer aligns with this vision. I just sat there. Said nothing. Karen stepped in. Of course, you'll receive your severance pay and accrued vacation time. We're also offering a 3-month transition allowance. 19 years, I said quietly. I worked here for 19 years. We understand, Marcus, Derek said, but he still wasn't looking at me. But the company is moving in a different direction now. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Was that what you say to a man who gave you 19 years? But I just nodded. Okay, I said. I understand. A flicker of surprise crossed Derek's face. I think he was expecting a reaction. Yelling, arguing, fighting back. But I just stood up. I'll clear out my desk today, I said. I'll turn in the keys tomorrow. Karen looked relieved. Thank you, Marcus. We appreciate your professionalism. As I walked out of the office, a few of the young engineers were standing in the hallway. Their eyes darted away. Everyone knew. Gossip traveled fast in this factory. When I went down to the production floor, my old team was trying to quietly focus on their work. Tommy, the foreman who'd worked with me for 15 years, came over. I heard, boss, he said in a low voice. Is it true? I nodded. New management, new rules. This is bullshit, he said angrily. You're the one who keeps this place running. Derek doesn't know a damn thing about the factory. I touched his shoulder. Forget it, Tommy. I'll handle it. But something was turning inside me. Something cold and calculated. Because there was something Derek didn't know. Several things, actually. When I got home, my wife Linda was waiting at the door. She could tell from my face. They let you go, didn't they? She said. I nodded. That night we sat at the dinner table and talked. Linda was a teacher. We could manage without my salary, but it would be tight. My son Jake was a senior in college. My daughter Emma was in high school. What are you going to do? Linda asked. I don't know, I said. But I actually did know. I just didn't want to say it yet. The next day I went to the factory and cleared out my desk. Photos, notes, awards accumulated over 19 years. Everything fit into one cardboard box. It hurt. On my way out, I stopped by Derek's office. Keys, I said, dropping them on his desk. Marcus, he said, looking directly at me for the first time. Don't take this personally. It's just business. I smiled. Don't worry, Derek. I'm not taking it personally. But I was. Very personally. 19 years ago, Riverside Manufacturing was a small workshop. Just 30 employees, 2 production lines, $2 million in annual revenue. I was 23, a newly graduated industrial engineer. When the owner, Mr. Thornton, hired me, he said, "This place is going to grow with you, son." And it did. Over 19 years, I built that factory. I planned every new line. I selected every new machine. I trained every new employee. When Thornton retired, he left the company to his son. Young Thornton wasn't interested and sold it to a board of directors. And the board brought in Derek. Derek's vision was simple: cut costs, increase efficiency, maximize profit. He didn't care about the human factor. He didn't care about experience. He only cared about the numbers on his spreadsheet. In the first 6 months, 12 senior employees resigned. All over 40. All experienced. Derek replaced them with people in their 20s, low-paid youngsters. Then came my turn. After I got home, I did something. I called my lawyer friend, Daniel. "Dan," I said, "can you help me with employment law?" "Sure, Marcus." "What happened?" I told him. Everything. 19 years, sudden termination, the young team excuse, signs of age discrimination. Daniel was quiet. Then, "Marcus, you may not know this, but under federal law, systematically firing employees over 40 is age discrimination. If there's evidence, both the company and Derek could face serious trouble." "Evidence?" I said. "What kind of evidence?" "Emails, meeting notes, correspondence where termination decisions were made. If there's a trail showing Derek planned this, you can sue." That night I couldn't sleep. Plans were spinning in my head. The next morning, I called Jennifer, the former HR assistant. Jennifer had resigned 3 months ago. She was fed up with Derek's management style. "Marcus," she said when she answered. I heard. "I'm so sorry. Jennifer, I need to ask you something. And I need you to be honest. Before Derek fired me, were there any communications about this?" Silence. Then, "Marcus, I don't work there anymore. But there was a file on Karen's computer. Called Restructuring Plan. That file had names in it. Yours too. All over 40. My heart raced. "Do you remember that file?" "I remember," she said. "Because I made a copy. One day Karen asked me to get documents from the printer. That file had printed out by mistake. I was uncomfortable. So I copied it." "Do you still have that copy?" "Yes. At home, in a safe place." "Jennifer," I said slowly, "can you bring me that document?" 2 days later, I met Jennifer at a cafe. She handed me a thick envelope. "These," she said. "Everything's here. Everything proving Derek's age discrimination." When I opened the envelope, the contents were shocking. Emails from Derek to Karen. "Prepare early retirement plan for employees over 40. Looking for young, energetic profiles. Phase out older team gradually. Target senior personnel for cost optimization." A meeting note. A presentation Derek gave to the board. Title: Workforce Rejuvenation Strategy. Subtitle: Phase out 40-plus employees, target 25 to 35 demographic. And the worst: an Excel spreadsheet. A list of names, ages, salaries. Everyone over 40 had a red mark next to their name. Note underneath: Termination Priority List. My name was at the top of the list. When I took it to Daniel, his eyes went wide. "Marcus," he said, This is clear evidence of age discrimination. Derek and the company are in big trouble. What should I do?" "We're preparing a complaint to the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Then we're filing a lawsuit for both compensation and Derek's removal from his position." That night I told Linda everything. Her eyes filled with tears. "For 19 years you gave that factory everything," she said. "And they saw you as just a number." "Not anymore," I said. "Now they see a problem." We started the lawsuit process. Daniel submitted Jennifer's documents to the commission. The commission launched an investigation. 2 weeks later, Derek called me. First time he'd ever called me. "Marcus," he said, his voice tense. I think there's been a misunderstanding. What misunderstanding, Derek? We got a letter from the commission about age discrimination allegations. This is ridiculous. Is it? I said calmly. Do you think firing 18 people over 40 in 8 months is normal? Silence. Marcus, look. Maybe we moved too fast. We want you to come back. Assistant manager position. Better salary. I smiled. But I didn't accept. Derek, if you really think you made a mistake, talk to the commission. Not me. I hung up. Over the next 3 months, the investigation deepened. The commission sent auditors to Riverside. They interviewed all the employees. They reviewed all the documents. And then, the explosion. Local newspaper headline: Riverside Manufacturing CEO Underage Discrimination Investigation. The news spread. Customers got worried. The board met in panic. Derek was removed from his position. Karen resigned. And I got an offer. From the chairman of the board, Richard Holbrook. He was the Thornton family's former attorney. Marcus, he said over the phone. First, we need to apologize. Hiring Derek was a huge mistake. And losing you was an even bigger mistake. I listened. We're offering you the general manager position, twice Derek's salary, full authority, and you can bring back your entire old team. And the lawsuit? I asked. Out-of-court settlement, $200,000 in compensation, and compensation packages for all affected employees too. I thought about it, long and hard. I have one condition, I said. Name it. I want Jennifer back as HR manager, in Karen's place, and all the fired employees over 40 need to be offered their positions back. Richard paused. Then, okay. Done. 3 weeks later, I returned to Riverside Manufacturing as general manager. My first action was to eliminate Derek's young team policy. I made Tommy chief engineer. Jennifer became HR manager. And 12 of the 18 people came back. The factory stabilized again. Production efficiency increased. Employee satisfaction rose. Within 6 months, we'd won back most of the customers we'd lost during Derek's tenure. A year later, Richard called me to the board. Marcus, he said, have you seen this year's financial reports? I have. 34% better performance than Derek's last quarter. How'd you do it? I smiled. I valued experience. I showed people respect, and they returned it. Richard nodded. Hiring you was the best decision we made. Actually, I said, you didn't hire me. Mr. Thornton did. 19 years ago. You just corrected your mistake. That night when I got home, Linda was waiting at the door. How'd it go? She asked. Good, I said. Everything's falling into place. We sat on the couch. Emma and Jake were studying in the living room. It was a normal evening. Peaceful. You know, Linda said. When Derek fired you, I was so scared. How will we manage? What will we do? But you never panicked. Because I knew something, I said. What? What's valuable always finds its way. Maybe not immediately. But eventually, justice prevails. A few months later, I was invited as a speaker at a conference. Topic: Age discrimination in the workplace and ethical management. In the audience were young CEOs, HR professionals, legal advisors. I started my speech with Derek's story. Without naming names, but everyone understood who it was about. As a manager, your biggest mistake, I said, can be seeing experience as a cost. But experience is an investment. Someone who's worked somewhere for 19, 30 years isn't just an employee. Their institutional memory, their mentorship, their stability. And if you see that person as just a number on an Excel spreadsheet, the loser isn't just that person. The entire company loses. After the speech, a young manager came up to me. Mr. Webb, he said, I did a similar restructuring at my company last year. I let the senior team go. But now production efficiency is down. Customer complaints are up. What should I do? Admit you made a mistake, I said. And apologize to those people. If they want to come back, open the door. Because ego will sink a company. But humility will save it. That night, sitting alone in my hotel room, my phone rang. A number I didn't recognize. Hello? Marcus? It's Derek. I stayed silent. I know you might not want to talk. But I just wanted to say something. He paused. I'm sorry. What I did to you wasn't right. And I've paid the price. No company will hire me now. My name's on a blacklist. Derek, I said calmly, I didn't put you on that list. You put yourself there. Your decisions had consequences. I know, he said. His voice was tired. I just wanted you to know. I made a mistake. I'm glad you learned that. I hung up. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel triumph. There was just peace. Because I hadn't taken revenge. I just defended what was right. Today, Riverside Manufacturing is still standing. Still growing. And I'm still the general manager. I'll work 3 more years, then retire. And Tommy will take my place. Because experience passes from generation to generation. And the moment you're most valuable is exactly when they see you as least valuable. Derek learned that too late. But me? I always knew.